right, your staggered stance kettlebell clean. This is technically a power clean since we are going from the floor, and we are doing it in a staggered stance, which just means that we're getting a little more of a single leg bias to this movement. Remember, with any clean, there is no such thing as a slow clean. So you need to make sure that those hips are really snappy going into extension. You're going to set up with one ankle parallel to the handle of your kettlebell. Your other foot is going to be slightly behind with your big toe lined up about with your midfoot to heel of your front foot. Now you're going to hinge back, making sure that you are loaded on one side and open up the back side of that hip. What I find really helpful to do here as well is kind of let that opposite hip come forward just a bit. So instead of hinging back and letting your back hip go back, think about bringing that back hip front just a bit so that we can really eccentrically lengthen and load this glute a bit more. You're going to put both hands down toward your kettlebell. Be sure to bring the kettlebell up, put it on a yoga block, stack of books, whatever you need to make sure that you're not hinging at the low back like this right here, okay? We want to make sure that all of the depth of your hinge comes from knee and hip going back. We don't want any depth coming from your low back going down. From there, you're going to powerfully extend your hips forward. Most important thing is that the bell should feel weightless in the top. We are not doing an arm exercise. So if you're using your arms and it feels hard, you're not getting enough power from your hips. At the very top of the clean, we want to make sure that you are in this really nice stacked position. Exhale, hug baby, deep core, whatever stage you're in, and your rib cage should be over your pelvis. You don't want to really clench your glutes, tuck under, and forcefully end right here, okay? So here I'm putting a lot of pressure out on that anterior pelvic floor and out on my core. I wanna make sure that I'm just really tall on the top. Another thing that can really be helpful is make sure that we're getting hip extension before knee extension, and that just means that we don't wanna totally lock out those knees and then kind of thrust forward here. Something that really helps me with that is just thinking about keeping the ever so small bend in my knee at the top and then really standing up and out of my hip. And last thing to remember, I know I'm giving you lots of things, but the hands are going to come around the handle of the kettlebell as you're coming up. So you're going to start with your hands right here on the kettlebell, and at the end, your hands are going to be right here on the kettlebell, okay? So they're going to come around as the bell is weightless, and you're going to land with the kettlebell off your chest, okay? We're not landing with the kettlebell right here. Kettlebell should be off the chest, elbows up off the chest as well, not sinking down. So I'll show you one more time from the other side. So I'm gonna get set up, ankle, handle, other foot a little bit back, bend my knees, make sure I've got a really nice hinge, and then I'm gonna take that other hip, bring it forward just a little bit, and then re-bend the knee to make sure I'm really letting the back of that glute open up. Now, my chest is right over the handle. I'm going to hinge down, making sure that I'm not going down with the low back, and then inhale. So I'm powerfully pushing 80% with the left leg. That right leg is more of just a kickstand. And then I'm gonna control it back down, get set again. So notice I kind of have to bring that right hip forward again and then kind of get situated over my left side and down. And that's how you do it.